actual, doing a live. What we're doing tonight is I've been tinkering around with working up loads for the 410, what I call my snake charmer, my 18.5 inch 410 Bubba gun. And 410, they reload okay. You can reload them once or twice. But I've been trying to get 410 brass, and I finally managed to get my hands on some CBC from Ballistic Products International, BPI. I use a lot of powders from them and such, specifically related to black powder and that kind of, and reloading shot shells. They've been out of stock forever, and they finally got some in, so I managed to get my hands on some. They're 2 3/4 inch full brass shot shells, and I'm going to be working up some loads for those. But before that, since I couldn't get them, as you may have seen the video, I've been using 444 Marlin brass. These are 2.5 inch, so they work just fine in the Bubba gun, and the base is 1/4 millimeter different than a regular 410 shot shell, and so they seat perfectly. Once in a while, you'll get one that'll you have a little bit of a hard time catching on the extractor. And the other day I went through 25 of these, and I had one that stuck a little bit, and all I did was just turn it up, tap it, it came right out. So what we were loading up then, I was running 30 grains of Pyrodex, which is a black powder, a 2F black powder equivalent, and it was okay. They were okay. They patterned really well at 5 yards. The pattern kind of opened up pretty bad at 10 and out to 15 yards. It was pretty much useless. So I started off low. I've done a 20 and a 25 grain before. And when I say 25 grains, I'm not talking about 25 grains as you might find it on a scale. This is 25 grains by volume. Modern smokeless powders you measure by weight. Black powder and black powder substitutes you measure by volume. So I was putting 30 grains in. I'm going to put 40 grains in because I could tell there's a whole lot of room for improvement. So run through a little bit with you what we're using tonight. First off is I've got my 3D print, my own personally designed 3D printed shot shell box, and in here I've got a dozen previously fired 444 Marlin. They're all fired. They haven't been decapped yet, so that's part of the process. Part of the process of reloading is you start by decap. Some people start by cleaning. Some people start by decapping then cleaning. For these, I only clean these every couple of times that they're fired. And these have only been fired once since the last loading, so we'll be using those. We've got our Hornady electronic scale off of Amazon. Nothing wrong with it. It works fine. I do my calibration. I even got a little reminder note on it. Recalibrate after before every session. We're running. We've got a solid brass powder set, powder jug, powder horn. Technically not a horn, but it's a powder container, and a measurer. And these are actually from Track of the Wolf. And I got them for my black powder rifle for my flintlock, and it works perfectly. You dial in your volume that you want, and lock down the set screw, and you're ready to fill it. Slip it in the end, turn it up, push the button, shake it a little bit, make sure it's cleared, and cautiously lift this off, and your powder will be right to the end here, and you know that you have the amount that you're trying to measure out. And then you dump that into your shell. We're also going to use ballistic products. This is called BAM. It's antimony lead shot. It's lead and antimony, and it's number 7.5 shot. Been running this over a year. I bought one bag of this, and I've got a jug from applesauce of all things, Ruler applesauce. I love that stuff, and okay, I thanks, Guyan. Yeah, I'm an old fart. Hey, what can I say? And I'm going to be here a little while, so hang out if you like. I appreciate it. Hope you like the content. Hope you check other things that's on the channel. I also do 3D printing and that kind of stuff. So, the ammo boxes and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Anyway, welcome. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. And feel free to call me Grandpa. I don't have any grandkids. I don't have any kids. I've got some nephews and nieces and their kids that I consider kids and grandkids. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for being here. I hang out, man. I will respond to your comments. I see your comments popping, so I will respond. Anyway, we've got the lead 7.5 shot. We've also got what I use for an over powder card and an over shot card. Normally, if you're loading black powder into shot shells, regular plastic shot shells, people buy what's called a nitro card. It goes over the powder so that you can tamp the powder down. With modern smokeless powders, you don't ever want to tamp that powder. You put it in, you put your bullet or your shot or your shot wad directly over it. You press it down. You don't tamp it. Black powder doesn't fire off quite like that. Hey, Outsphere, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live. Hope you hang out a little bit. But with black powder, you want to tamp it, otherwise it's not going to go off right. Black powder has to be compressed. But instead of buying 7/16 little 7/16 discs, I actually bought a 7/16 hole punch and 3D printed a tray. I'll do a video or a live sometime on that tray for punching these out manually. It's something that I caught off of another channel, off of another video, an advertisement, and these are actually just little pieces of cardboard from like a cereal box or a Kleenex box, something like that. You can also use, if you need thicker, you could use like an Amazon box. I would generally want to use an Amazon box as a cushion wad because it's corrugated and it's going to have a little bit of give, which you want as a cushion wad. Speaking of cushion wads, that's next up. That's the next thing that's going to go in the stack when we start loading this. Alex, hello, welcome. For All right, there you go. There you go. I appreciate that, guy. I really do. I really do. And please feel free to call me Grandpa. I'll be your online grandpa. But what I use uh, for a cushion wad is actually some dollar store foam core artboard. It's cushy, it's springy, it's about the same firmness as the cork uh, cushion wads that you would buy from, say, Ballistic Products. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. They have no idea who I am, other than the fact that I order stuff from them. I'm not sponsored by anybody. You'll hear me talk about Ballistic Products and Hornady and Lee and Lyman and RCBS. You'll hear me talk about all of these. I'm sponsored by me and my retirement and my enjoyment of this. Uh, I'm not monetized on YouTube. Uh, like I mentioned to Guyan earlier, I'm just an old fart. I remember the old days of YouTube, where folks just shared things that they were passionate about and their hobbies. And since I'm not monetized, I can show things that channels that are monetized will shy away from, because YouTube will threaten to demonetize them. Since I'm not monetized, they don't have that threat. So anyway, back to what we're doing. So I've got these little 7/16 discs from that foam core artboard. We use that as a cushion rod. We've already talked about our shot. The other thing that we're going to be using is some White River large rifle primers. That's what the 444 Marlin brass for the regular rifle. It's regular rifle round. It's not as popular as it used to be, but brass is out there and not all that expensive. We're also going to be using, as we go along, another 3D printed item, and little scooper for shot. This is a tamper for tamping the contents into the brass. This one we're not going to use. We're going to do a little bit of work on it. This is actually for depriming. You can actually take this into the field and along with these three bottles and a bottle of powder or a container of powder, and you can actually reload these in the field, which is a day of hunting. You're probably not going to use more than 12, maybe 24 shells. If you're out squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting or something, and with a 410, you can take a couple of these with you and off you go. And at night, sitting in camp in a tent or a camper or whatever, you can actually sit there and reload your shot shells. I've also got this is a different kind of tamper or ram to use to set the new primers. And of course, funnel, so that when you go to put your powder in, you put this in the top and you dump your powder this way, instead of trying to get it from here into the shot shell, which is almost the same size. You just dump it in there. So everything goes in the box. There's also a platform. I know it sounds like I'm advertising, doesn't it? Outsphere. I'm retired. I spent about 40 years as a systems analyst and programmer and software developer. I was one of the original. I was doing data mining before anybody used the term data mining. Extracting data from mainframe computers for a company that I worked for, and turn it into presentations and useful management data. I'm retired from that, and I love shooting. I love reloading. It's cathartic. Guy, and thank you. Well, actually, if you sub the channel, do a like and subscribe, you'll get notifications when I go live. I'm So far, I've only done a few lives. I record a lot of times and upload. For some reason, this evening, I just decided that tonight was a good night to do a live, and of course you jumped on, and yeah, I'd appreciate it. Let your friends know. Hit them up now and let them know that what you're watching, and get some more folks in here. I appreciate it. Uh, I'm also thinking about getting back. I had been on TikTok doing some lives there, uh, on that particular one, TikTok really did not like my content. They have an issue. They have an issue if you even show a bullet or a gun. Um, One of their algorithms apparently did not like something, and they completely deleted that channel. I do have a new channel over there. Also, it's also known as 1791 Actual, and I've been thinking about trying to get back on there and figure out just exactly how to how to not get thrown out again. But I've been on YouTube. I've actually been I set up a channel and live streaming for my local church several years ago. I've been on YouTube watching videos for since let's just say the early days of YouTube. So anyway, that's that kit that I made up. So far, I haven't tried selling any of these or anything, but I do have other things that I make and sell. I'll do a live probably in a few days. I'll do a live. I've already got a video out there about the reloading station that I 3D print. And I think I might do a live showing how that works. Actually using it to, I need to reload some 9mm. I need to reload some 357 Magnum. So maybe we'll do all those as lives. You guys let me know what you want. I definitely appreciate it and help build the channel. So let's see. We've already talked about. The last thing that we're going to be using in the shells is a little thing called Sally Hansen Hard as Nails. So you build your shot shell. You put your primer in, you put your powder in, you put your over powder card, your cushion wad, your shot, whether it's this 7.5 bird shot. I also use steel BBs. I also use copper BBs, just the Crossman 177 caliber BBs that you get on Amazon for next to nothing. You get 2 big bottles for nothing. They're the steel you can use. Hey, thanks for that. I appreciate it. One last thing with. Oh man, I'll tell you what, brother, Diane, I can't tell you that does my heart good to see that. It really does. I'm loving it. I just thank you. Anyway, steel shot. A lot of places here in the U.S. A lot of states have outlawed using lead for hunting purposes. It's okay for like shooting clays or targets or whatever, but for hunting, most states I think have outlawed using lead. The scientists say that it poisons the meat, even though the lead is going to be in contact with the meat for all of an hour or two until you clean the rabbit or the squirrel or the bird or whatever. But steel BBs does the job. The antimony actually is legal, acceptable in most areas. I'm not going to guarantee that that it's okay everywhere. And so then we've got the steel. We've also got the copper ones, and let's see what else. Oh, I've also got some steel 50 caliber round ball and some lead 50 caliber round ball. Those the lead I use in my flintlock. The steel ones I'm considering using as potentially as slugs for these 410 snake charmer loads. All right, so there's one other thing over here behind me. This is an RCBS Rock Chucker Supreme press. Slide you guys over here, and I designed and 3D printed these bays that anchor to the back. I've got inline fabrication riser and quick change plate, and I needed a place to keep the critical tools that you use all the time. So I made these for a couple of other presses. I've got a couple of Lee presses. A Challenger and a classic cast, and I made what I call a saddle bin system that goes around it. You put all your different components and parts and tools in it. And so when I ended up getting this rock chucker, I had always wanted a rock chucker, but never was willing to spend the money on them because they're a little bit pricey. Found one on Facebook Marketplace. A gentleman was divesting himself of it. He was moving and couldn't take all of his reloading stuff with him, so I picked this up kind of cheap, and I fell in love with it. The way that it's designed, the amount of leverage, the fact that it has a cam-over feature that gives it a little extra boost at the end. Just the whole thing about it, I dearly love it. You also see sitting over here is a camera where a lot of times I'll use that, and I run OBS on my computer. But anyway, we're going to use that in conjunction with a Lee 4-die set. We're not going to use all 4 dies though. We're only using one of them. And this was also something that I picked this up as part of a big load of various reloading items, and just happened to be that in that bundle was the 444 Marlin kit, so I put it in this tray, also designed and 3D printed by yours truly, along with let's flip that camera. All of that. Those are actually components, shelves that they pin together, so you can configure it however you want it. They're designed to fit the Lee die cases. You got a little cutout on the sides to make it easy to grab them this way and pull them out. And then I've also got the various drawers for different things, different dividers. And it's oh, Altsphere. I've actually got a. I'm sorry. Let me flip that back around. I've actually got a Bambu Lab P1P that I started with about a year ago, and it's a good printer. It's quality. But then I've also got 2 FlashForge Adventure 5Ms or 85Ms. Quite honestly, they're half the price of the Bambu Lab. They are also available on Amazon, just like the P1P was. But they're half the price, and they've got a slightly smaller print bed and area, and and for what I give up in the area of the print bed, I don't mind at all, because the detail that I can get out of those printers is simply amazing. Um, they're you know, like I said, there's a lot of that kind of content that I'll be getting into here, and really kind of uh, trying to build the channel a little bit. I've been, I've got videos going back a year. I started off doing videos setting up uh, the full brass 12 gauge shot shells. In the CBC shot shells, I'll take rifle primers and pistol primers, and I really don't care for that. Um, so I watched Dave Canterbury several times, and learned all about converting those shot shells to accept a regular 209 primer. But anyway, the printer, I highly recommend if you're thinking about getting into 3D printing. Um, it's a ton of fun. You want something that you can take it out of the box and within an hour print your first item. I would say go with the FlashForge. They have the 85M. Then there's also the 85X, which it's got an enclosure on it. The 80, and there's the Pro. It's actually got you can put 4 different colors on it at one time, and I do my design work using Tinkercad and FreeCAD. Then for converting it to get things over onto the printer, I use for the Bamboo. I used the Bamboo Studio, which is a variation of it. It's called Orca, and I use Orca and FlashForge Orca. It has some tweaks done by FlashForge to the software to do final work and slicing and getting it ready to send to the printer and everything. Plus, those are all I've got them hooked up wirelessly on my network here at the house, and you know, hit send, and it sends it to whichever printer I choose, and that's what we get out of it. Since you seem to be a little bit interested in that, I'm going to go ahead and grab this from behind here. This is the reloading center that I was talking about. There's a place to store some 3x5 cards, because when I'm doing loading, I generally will put, except for the shot shells, I'll put my load card with my everything written on it. My college madam wants your number for friendship. Okay then. I don't know that I'm looking for. I don't know that I'm looking for love. I've been married for 43 years, so there's that. But we could be friends. Yeah. Get your college madam to get here to get on the channel and like and subscribe, and you message me through Facebook, or through YouTube. We'll chat. Anyway, I'm loving this. I'm really having a good time with this, guys. So this tray, you can see there's a place here you can store the cards. Place for the Hornady scale. I've actually got one that's designed for a mech scale, which sits this way, and a Lyman scale. Got a place for my powder pan. I put a regular tin powder pan in there, but I 3D printed one that I like the size of. chamfer and deburr tool for cleaning the mouth of the shell. And there's a double-ended primer pocket cleaner. Yes, yes. And then there's this. This is a check gauge, just to make sure that everything, that the case isn't swollen or anything after you get it loaded. And of course, a place for pencil and pen, and keep my digital caliper back here at the back. There's a version of this that has just a little tray that you can glue in back here in the back. There's another version that actually has a caliper rack that you can glue in back here. Yeah, I designed this. It's 3D printed. A drawer down here you pull out. It's got a place for a caliber block. It's got a place to store a primer flip tray. We'll be using that here in a little bit. Pull the insert out. Put a piece of paper towel in here and spray your lube on it to lube cases. These large cases need lubed. And in fact, we're going to be using a lot of this here shortly. So, and I'll set a couple of things back out of the way. Don't really need that, don't really need that, so I can slide that guy back. And let's see. I think we've got everything out here that we need, so after all that, let's kind of go ahead and get into just a little bit of the actual work that we're going to be doing. So I take a shell holder, bring the ram up where I can get to it, slip that shell holder in, snacks in right there, turn it so that it's facing me. This is actually to catch the spent primers. I'm working on a new piece for that. I like the thickness of it a little bit better. But it does just fine. The ram on the RCBS has a slot in the back, so that when you punch the primer out, it'll come down, fall out the hole in the back of the ram, go into here, and then drop into one of these cups. Next thing we need to do is deep prime. Actually, let's move you guys a little bit closer. Kind of see what I'm doing here. And you go ahead and turn this down. Bring my ram up. Turn this down until it touches. Let's loosen that nut just a little bit. Okay, then right there, that's where, right in here, the die just now touches the ram. So pull that ram down a little bit. Now let me give this about a quarter turn. And you'll notice that there are flats here on the die, so you can tell it's about a quarter turn in. Bring the ram back up and press against that. That'll keep the die from being able to turn while I turn the nut down a little bit. Grab the channel locks out of here. Snug that nut. Doesn't have to be gorilla tight. You don't have to be macho gorilla tight. Just you want it tight so that it's not going to move. So we're going to get out our spent shells, and let's see. I thought I had a small tray. We'll use this. We'll use this box. This is a part of a failed print, but hey, boxes are handy. And you got that what they call ASMR, the cathartic sound of reloading. So I'm going to take my piece of brass, Slip it into that holder. And before I do that, though, I'm going to grab a piece of, already got one out, piece of shop towel. Pull a tray out. And lay my piece of shop towel in there. It's folded so that it fits a little bit better. Take some. This is what we got. Hornady One Shot case lid. I kind of go back and forth between this case lube and there's a Hornady. It's like a butter like stuff that you can use. Let's just leave those in there for now. And you just kind of roll your brass around on that lube, kind of get the outside of it lubricated just a little bit. If you don't do that, and you put this long brass, you can get by without lubing most handgun rounds, but rifle rounds and such, you really need to lube them up before you try to put it in, because this is not only going to remove the primer, it's okay, Guy. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Okay, I appreciate the like and subscribe, and hope to see you again. I like I said, I really do appreciate you stopping in and hanging out, and we'll see you again. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. So now I've got these lubed up. Whoops, I did not lube that guy. I was headed for trouble. Okay, so we're going to slip that in there. Come up, press it. And with these, I really have to kind of press 2 or 3 times. And with this one, I like the extra leverage of standing up over it. And that one's stuck hard. I just apparently did what I said not to do. Didn't get it lubed enough. So you're going to hear some banging here for a minute. All right, that is going to be an issue. And everything I do, guys, is live, and on a live anyway, is live and uncut. So we are going to be working this issue together. And we're going to have to get the big wrench going here. This is another way of getting a stuck case out of the die. A little bit of muscle to unscrew the case and force it by forcing it against the ram. force it to pull it up out. And one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to pull the brass out, or the shell holder is going to have deformed the shoulder of the brass. So let's find out which it is. Aha! Came out. However, at the same time, it did indeed deform the case to the extent the case is stuck in the shell holder. There we go. With the shell holder out, that case does not look extremely damaged, but it is damaged right here. Okay. Now let's see what we shall see here. Diane, don't be telling people I'm a soldier. Not a soldier. In the U.S., that's claiming such is what we refer to as stolen valor. And I'm not, never have been in the military. A lot of friends who have been and who are. and I will not lay claim to their service. I appreciate their service. I appreciate our service personnel, but I won't claim that. Not to mention the fact that there's a lot of YouTube creators that claim to be military or have been military or special forces or whatever, that have been outed over time that they are not and never were, and we really don't like those folks much. That's not something that is well accepted. But I appreciate I appreciate your efforts. Okay, what I've done here is I've swapped up to Hornady Unique case lube. This is the cream that I mentioned earlier, and we're going to use I've lubed these guys up with that case lube. See if we can do better. And of course, I'm not gonna press quite as hard now if I start getting that kind of resistance. And I am getting resistance. Way more resistance than I would expect. So, what we're going to do if I can get that loose. There we go. I'm going to switch methodology a little bit here. One of the things I like about the Lee dies is that their decapping pin or their depriming pin, the way that it works, it actually has a collet. Should run that back in there. Try doing this with a press. It should be able to quite easily loosen that collet. Get the collet removed. I can remove the decapping pin. Most manufacturers, their decapping die has some kind of a collet system, but the Lee is such that it's more adjustable. In that, if you press against a too hard of a primer or it doesn't line up quite right, you can break the end of the pin. The way that the Lee is built, it's just a cinched collet, and it actually, instead of breaking it, it'll push it so that it'll come up out of the top of the top of the die. So what we're going to do, since that didn't work for depriming like I wanted it to, I'm going to switch up. I'm going to switch up and try using our home-built tool set. Popped it out. Question is, can I get that out? Because it feels really tight. And by the way, this is the first time using this particular set, so kind of needs sanded and adjusted a little bit, I think. Yeah, it looks like this whole video is kind of turning out poorly, isn't it? Well, I think we're going to I'm going to have to work on that a little bit more. I was sure that I had for that size. I've had to resize it a couple of times. And I was sure that I had that size properly to get down in there, but apparently not. And that case has a little bit of a bulge to it. So, not going to be able to reuse that case anyway. If the case is bulged, you definitely cannot try to reuse it. You can kind of see, looking at that, you can see the bulge that it's gained right in here because this was too tight right here. And when I tamped it down, it kind of hosed it up. Yeah. Well, that's bad news. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Since I'm having an issue with the depriming those guys, this box, I have some brand new brass. Actually, you know what? These are not brand. These have been once fired. Yeah, these were once fired and cleaned, but they have all been reprimed already, so we don't have to do that part. So we need these so we can see what we're doing. We need to get some primers. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. I've only got 8 here. I need 12. All right, had to get us some more primers out of there. And what you do with a primer flip tray, you shake that around. You notice the rings in there? As you shake that around, it causes them all to flip the correct way of how they get seated. So these primers are actually going to be used for this later. And since we don't need them right at the minute, we'll go ahead and got them ready, got them prepped for after a while. Put them back in this box, and that box is set for these guys. So now, we're actually at the stage where we've reprimed our shells and we're ready to put powder and the over powder card, the cushion wad, shot, over shot card, and then seal it. And for this, I don't really need that holder. We'll need this dipper, funnel, tamper. Don't need that tamper because that's the repriming tamper. Take our brass, set it in the block like that. That's more for use with when you're doing rifles and you're setting bullets in. But since we've got a dozen here, actually let's move these. So we've got our dozen shells that we're going to load. The dozen fits in here. And we're going to start off, actually, let's go ahead and use that. Set that there. So he's ready for powder. My powder measure is already set at 40, but let's verify. Yep, that is right on 40. Right there. I'll show you how this works. Pop that in, invert it, push the button, give it a little shake, release the button, make sure that it's cleared, lift that off, and there's powder right to the top, which means that it has 40 grains by volume of powder. Put my funnel in, dump it, and then we'll grab go ahead and dump our various wad materials out here into the tray. We're going to take one of these over powder card, set it just in the top, take this rammer, drop that in, then we'll grab our cushion wad, which is that foam core, ram it down so it's nice and tight. And I'm going to fill that up just until it's maybe, I don't know, 7/16 or so from the top. Give it a little bit of a tamp. And what I do want to do, I've been filling this full for volume, but out of curiosity, let's see how much this actually weighs. We turn our scale on, and we're going to go to calibrate. Yeah, come on. And we are at 10 grams. So we are good to go. Put our pan on, hit 0. So now we know that anything that we weigh is just going to be what is actually in there. So our shot is 157 grains, adding the cushion wad and 1 over powder and 1 over shot card gives us a completed load of 1 158.5 grains. So we know what our shot volume is. We know what our shot weight is. Okay, so we're going to put our overshot card on. A little bit of a clamp. I had that lid on a little bit too tight. And we're just going to daub some of the old Sally Hansen around there, just to cover the cover that card and get all the way out to the edges. And there you have it. There you are. One loaded 410 gauge shot shell. So and yes, I put an extra card in that one because I realized that it didn't feel like it was going to be quite deep enough, and I was right. Now we're going to move these empty shells up here in the front. What I think I'll do is we'll load them up here, put them here after I put the get the cards in, and then we'll just go through and we'll do the Sally Hansen treatment on the whole batch all at once instead of having to keep reopening that. I was checking to make sure that that's seated properly all the way around. So that my shot cup, so my shot level is going to be nice and even. Oh, good. Whoops. Well, actually, hi, Crash. Actually, I think I know who you're talking about. Um, yeah, he does wash in the kitchen in a kitchen sink. Uh, but the kitchen sink is actually, I believe, in the laundry room. Um, there's another one that I've seen actually wash it in the kitchen sink. Um, Technically, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you're cleaning it with. Usually, we use most reloaders use Dawn dish detergent to wash it. They'll put it, dump the brass in the sink and put water in on it and let it soak and swish it around and bring it out and drain it as a liquid cleaning step. But what's more common if you're going to do, you call it liquid tumbling, uh, and you put it, you get a tumbler, either the Frankfurt Arsenal, one of the big ones, or if you only do pistol brass, handgun brass, something like that. Um, Harbor Freight has a small little rock tumbler. As so does you can get them on Amazon too. They're a kid's experimental rock tumbler, and the one that I've got actually is from Amazon. And you put it in, put the soap in, put the water in, lay it on there, and it tumbles, and it washes it out. Um, There you go. You got the Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler. Okay, okay. Um, the soot can get into the sponge and and yeah, and then the dishwasher. So yeah, I agree. I agree. Uh, and I some of mine, the black powder stuff that I do. I do tend to clean it in that little Amazon tumbler with some Dawn, and sometimes I'll put lemon shine in. I'm not really worried about shiny. These were cleaned. These were actually cleaned in just in a corn cob media vibratory tumbler, and they do it. It does a good job. You know, so it's kind of all up to the individual. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to be using using a dishwasher for it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. By the way, welcome, Crash. Thanks for joining. Hope you like the content. What we're doing tonight is reloading these 410, or I'm sorry, these are actually 444 Marlin brass that I use as 410 full brass shot shells. Oh yeah. Well, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that corncob media does a great job. I absolutely love it. It's a Lyman, the Lyman Pro, and it does a wonderful job. I've been using the same jug of Amazon corncob media for a year now, and it's just now starting to get dirty to where it's not cleaning well. But I appreciate you coming on in, and like I said, I hope you like the content. I hope you'll like and subscribe. That way, when I upload new stuff or go live, you get notified and you can stop in. So anyway, I've got just kind of recap for you. Uh, running Pyrex RS, which is a 2F black powder equivalent, running it in these full brass 410 shells that I make up for what I call my snake charmer. It's a little H&R 410. They call it a Bubba gun, or I call it snake charmer. It's been shortened down to 18.5 inches, no bead on the front or anything. It's strictly close range, you know, snake killer, rat killer out on a farm, that kind of thing. But and I'm running the BPI Ballistic Products antimony lead 7.5 bird shot, and a whole bunch of things that I 3D printed. Oh, I just made a mess, and I cannot trust that charge now. So, since I cannot trust that charge, I'm going to put that charge back. Make sure we're clean in there. So the whole idea behind this block is so you don't do what I just did and knock it over. This powder jar and powder measure comes from Track of the Wolf. I got that for my specifically for my flintlock. So we put our powder in. Of course, you don't want to I don't know what the speeds are yet. I've been reloading for a little bit and just kind of all rounds, and so I haven't actually bought a chrono yet. That's my next purchase. So now we've got what I just put in. I put an over powder card. Instead of buying nitro cards and all that, and cushion wads and all that kind of thing, I bought a hole punch. 7/16 hole punch, and I 3D printed tray to help in producing these. And these are just punched out of a cereal box or a Kleenex box, something like that. And that goes in as the over powder card. The next thing that goes in, instead of a regular cork cushion wad, I put a 7/16 punched out. This is a piece of foam core artboard from the dollar store. And I agree. Ingenuity. Who was it? I don't remember who it was that I think might have been Einstein that said necessity is the mother of invention. And I started reloading my reloading journey, actually reloading 12 gauge shot shells, and then ran across. You're probably familiar with him if you're a gun guy. You're probably familiar with Dave Canterbury on YouTube. I found a video of Dave Canterbury converting full brass shot shells to accept a 209 primer. Now, there is a shot shell available that takes a 209 primer, but for half the price, you get the CBCs from BPI and drill them out. It was actually my very first video that I ever put up on this channel was prepping that full brass shot shell to take a 209 primer. So I did the 12 gauge, and I started kind of working up the method, and next thing you know, I started doing 20 gauge. Okay, because hey, you got 12 gauge, probably ought to have a 20 gauge too. So I got a 20 gauge barrel for that same shotgun, and then I ran across a deal on this little 410 Bubba gun, and I ran some stock 410 loads, some factory loads through it, and it's okay, but hey, if I can do this for 12 and 20, why not do it for 410? So started working on 410. I bought some materials and from BPI, and then I started saying, you know what? Why can't I just punch all of this stuff? And so what we're running here is BPI lead antimony 7.5 shot. I've just started experimenting with this particular load. At, uh, at 5 yards, it's nice and tight. At 10 yards, it's still acceptable for for a rabbit or squirrel. But uh, out to 15 yards, yeah, pattern is massive. And that was with 30 grains of Pyrodex. These that I'm doing is 40 grains of Pyrodex. I'm going to get a lot better speed. Um, but I've just kind of started experimenting with this lead antimony bird shot um, in the 410. Mostly what I load out is either steel BB shot. This stuff patterns great. I can do a 12 gauge load of the steel BB shot and vaporize a milk jug at 30 yards. So you know what it would do with a take a squirrel out of a tree. um, so that's I have also been using some Crossman copper BB shot. Dave Canterbury, yeah, he actually started way back. Um, he actually started way back. He was on like Alone or those, uh, not Survivor or something like that, but one of the outdoorsman shows back in the day, and those shows are still around. Dave's been on YouTube forever. He's actually got um, a school in I believe it's in southeastern Ohio, I think, maybe. But yeah, and CW Longshot, man, I love that guy. Uh, Actually, I subscribe to him. CW Longshot actually subscribes to my channel. I've got a couple of those guys that have that have subscribed to the channel over the last year, I guess year and a half now. Um, CW Longshot's one of my absolute faves. We do. I watch a lot of. I learn a lot from him. Uh, Comment a lot. Yeah, they're really really good. Georgia Shooting Connection. I don't think I have. I'll definitely check them out though. I appreciate that input, man. Now this setup here is so handy. Um, all you have to do is set the powder measure to to what you want. Um, the One thing I'm sure you definitely you don't want to compact modern smokeless powder, but black powder and powder substitute you have to compact or it's not going to fire off right. And I actually bought this set originally. A little overzealous there, didn't I? I actually bought this setup for my flintlock. My wife and I do 18th century reenacting uh, in Rendezvous, and one of the things that I'm big into in that realm is what we call a woods walk. Uh, Target shooting out in the woods, shooting at different kinds of targets. But black powder is actually a lot of fun. Um, there's there's a lot to know about it, a lot to learn about it. It behaves vastly different, I would say, than smokeless powder. Thing is, when you can't get If you remember, just 5 years ago, um, ammunition was impossible to get, and that's what actually kind of got me started in getting interested in reloading. Um, but a lot of powders, a lot of smokeless powders, sometimes are impossible to get, and black powder is usually, or well, black powder, true black powder, so much isn't so readily available anymore. But Pyrodex works great. I run Pyrodex in my 18th century long rifle, flintlock. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it's crazy. And if you could, that's if you can get it. It's $300 for 8 pounds if you can find it. I keep dropping. I keep little bird shot all over my bench here, kind of making a mess. But hey, it is what it is. It's my bench. I either got to put up with it or clean up with it, and I do. So, you notice me using this little rammer. That's actually part of a 3D printed kit that I made up. That this rammer, there's a smaller diameter rammer. You can actually take this whole set out in the field and reload these. I'd say if you've got a day of squirrel hunting or something, and you get back to camp, and I've got a set that I do for the 12 gauge for the larger game as well. But you get back to camp or to the camper and sit there and reload for the next day. But this is for helping to set the primers. You set your shell in here, and I've actually got one over here that I've got my rammer stuck in it. It had a wrinkle in it, and this rammer actually has a decapping pin in the end of it. So I like your methodology. That's cool. But this is to actually decap. You put it in here. There's a well in the bottom of here that accepts the primer if it pops out and when it pops out. But unfortunately, this particular rammer was untested, and when I tested it earlier, I got it stuck. So I'm going to have to deal with that. But basically, you put your your fired shell in the cup, and you use your decapping rod. You clear the primer, and then you use this one. You flip this over, set your primer here, put this on top, slam down on that, and it sets the new primer. And at the same time, you're dumping the old primer out of the cup. Drop that in there, and then you do the process that you see me doing here to finish up. And this I designed and 3D printed this thing. I haven't done a Lee Lodahl for my shot shells. You might notice sitting back over here, you can see it sticking up on top. That's a Mech 6000 Junior. I use that for my 12 gauge, and then but the 20 gauge, the 410 is I'm sold on this little method here. Yeah, yeah. And this, what I've got going here, this tray, I can dump the trash out of this now. I've got all those done. This is actually a multi-part system that I devised for my handgun and rifle reloading. And get a few things out of the way here. This is some brass that needs decapped. And ideally, for this 444 Marlin brass, I've actually got a Lee 444 Marlin die set that I actually got it, scrounged it up as part of a huge bundle that I picked up at a junk shop. But this setup here, I designed this to minimize footprint of most of my equipment. Got a place for some cards, so I can write my load that I'm working up and lay the card on here. Place back here to store my caliper. My Hornady digital scale sits in a little bay. I've got another version of this for a mech scale and another one for a Lyman scale. Powder pan, my own 3D printed design. Case gauge, chamfer and deburr tool, the primer pocket, double-ended primer pocket cleaner, place for some pencils and pens over on the side here. I'll pull the drawer out, and the drawer, primer flip, a bay for the caliber block, different caliber blocks that I've made, just sits right in there so it can't move around. And then this is a lube tray. You put a piece of paper towel in there and spray your lube on it. But the whole thing literally takes up a 10 by 10 space, and it's easy to pick it up, stick it up on a shelf or whatever. And of course, in conjunction with that is the caliber, the blocks. Caliber blocks come with a jacket that can be pinned together, basically to make a unit there. And I also designed and printed this drawer system to put all my dies in. The dies are regular, they're designed to hold a specific set of dies. Some of the drawers just have a divider in them and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm a retired systems analyst and software designer. I was data mining before anybody knew what data mining was, and was doing systems forensics and pulling data from a mainframe computer for management at the company that I worked for, and devising and presenting data for business purposes. I still use a lot of those skills. I'm hyper anal. Some people call me an asshole, and I accept that. I'm 65 years old. I'm kind of proud of the progress I've made. Uh, but yeah, yeah, again, necessity. I knew what I needed. Um, my wife, I was doing everything, just on uh, just the bench and everything. And a little over a year ago, my wife bought me a 3D printer, my first one, and I started designing and building this stuff. And now I'm up to 3 printers. And actually, most of what I like to print is functional and organizational stuff. But in order to support it, I started doing, the craft shows and making dragons and all the fidget spinners and all that kind of stuff, because that stuff sells. This stuff, it's kind of a niche market. I had sold a couple of these reloading centers. I also did a gun cleaning tray, so you can put your brushes and rods and swabs and everything all in it, and a little drawer, a little place to hold a couple of bottles of cleaner and lubricant. And I got videos out there. I got videos out there on that kind of stuff too. Uh, being a shooter and reloader, I'm really glad to connect with you. This does me good. I also did this tray. I'm running the RCBS rock chucker. I got this. I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace that was divesting of some stuff, and I would never pay for a rock chucker just because they're expensive. But I found this one on a really, really good deal. And I made this bin setup to hold all of my critical tools. Oh yeah, brother. I know what you're talking about. And the filament that I use, I've tried several different ones, and what I'm using right now and having good luck with is Overture. Um, it's I get it on Amazon. You can get it cheap. The black is I buy the four spool bundle. It's like 40 some odd dollars, which makes it like $10, $10 a kilo. Now, some of theirs is more expensive. They've got some fancy stuff. It's like uh, I think it's like $27 to $28 a kilo. It's pretty fancy, and I make a few things with it. Uh, and again, with my business background, I was with the pharmaceutical industry, and so data's been my life for over 40 years, and so I was exposed to product costing and that kind of thing. So I actually developed a tool in Excel to do my product costing. I put in covers overhead, my time, print time, uh, wear and tear on the machine, overtime, uh, electricity usage. It takes all that into consideration with the print time, and then standard costing on filament. I standard cost at $30 a spool. So if I sell something really fancy, it's covered. If I sell one of these, that this green filament I think was $15 a spool, I'm way ahead. And of course the black is 10, so if I sell one of these in black, profit margin goes up. And it's a worm. It's not even a rabbit hole. It's a wormhole, because when you get close to it, it will suck you in. I started with a Lee Classic Cast, and I've still got all the presses that I bought. I need to sell some. But I started with a Lee Classic Cast, and that one, solid as a rock. It's I would say that it's as solid as the RCBS. main difference is the rock chucker has got that over travel, that you can get that extra little bit of oomph at the end, where the Lee doesn't do that. It has a stop. But again, it's cast iron, O press, all steel, and that's where I got started with the 3D printing of reloading stuff. Oh yeah, that's pretty much true, except for these guys. It takes the RCBS to resize to decap and resize these. Uh, they it just doesn't seem to like it. But the other thing that this one, I cannot remove the lug, and I've heard that I should be able to, but I can't get that lug to come out. But on the classic cast, that lug comes out, and for doing 12 gauge full brass, instead of using my little home built setup, I can use an RCBS cowboy die, and in order to yeah. I use the RCBS cowboy die to decap and reprime my 12 gauge full brass, because you can take that collet out of the top of the classic cast, and it's got the large thread. You can do 50 BMG on that bad boy, but I built what I called a saddle bin system that sits on 3 sides to put all the tools and your empty brass and your loaded brass. You just use it however you want to. And then ran across a yard sale and picked up a super cheap Lee Challenger 2. So I built the saddle bin system to go with that one. And so now I've got those, and I've got those those I've got out on a couple of forums on Facebook, and had some interest, folks asking questions about them, thinking about buying them. Same thing for the this reloading center. I had to check down in that brass. I thought I saw a fly. Saw a fly go down there. So look, I'm going to go ahead and finish this guy up, and then go to the next step. So what are you loading? You said you like to hang out with somebody while you're loading some of your own. What are you loading up? Oh man, oh, I apologize. I apologize for inspiring you. Of course, if you're interested in one of these, we can email me at 1791actual@gmail, and that's me. Toss those components a little early. And I apologize for the background noise. What you hear, all that noise in the background is actually over the other side of the basement. I've got my corn media tumbler running, cleaning in a couple of hundred pieces of 9mm. Oh, I appreciate that, because anything and everything they do, whether it's a recorded video or obviously a live is going to be real time, real live, and what happens happens. But even my videos that I record, I don't take them through a lot of post work. I don't edit them. It's life. And when I got into or onto YouTube and watching videos years ago, YouTube was all about people sharing their hobbies and sharing information and hanging out. And you're going and learn how to do things and all that kind of thing. But over the years, when things started getting monetized, everybody started deciding that they wanted to make money at being a content creator. I'm 65 years old. I'm an old fart. I'm retired. These are my hobbies: the shooting, the reloading, developing stuff like this, the 3D printing. It's what I like to do. And if people want to share that with, share some of my life once in a while, that's cool. If they don't, okay, that's cool. Different strokes for different folks. Old timer saying. But anyway, see, I know you understand. You understand what I'm talking about. So the last step in this process, I've got all these topped off. Sally Hansen, hard as nails. Oh yeah, yeah. That is so cool. Have you got a channel crash? Because if you do, I'll definitely sub your channel. Oh, come on. Dude. Let me finish sealing this one shell, and I'm gonna spin this camera around. And I know that you're not the only one that's ever going to see this, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so this is my reloading room. I call it the dungeon because it's in my basement. Where our house was built in 1930, so I have a basement that is where the ductwork is. Let me flip around there. Where that ductwork is, I cannot stand up. Those rafters are about 2 inches above my head. But you can see what I got going on back here. Okay? That's just all kinds of stuff. Some stuff I was going to build a different bench. That cart over there was my original reloading bench. I had a huge board attached to the top of it, and my press was on it so that I could move it around. With my collections of spent brass. This is my other hobby. Flatware jewelry. I'm going to do a live here shortly on making a ring and a bracelet. I'm starting to experiment with how to incorporate forks into bracelets. But arbor press bender. Oh, AV guy. That's actually how I got started. Kind of how I got started with content creation here on YouTube. Before I had my channel, back, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago. Up until then, everything was recorded videos. You know that. Um, and I the church that I was going to, I had taken over I had taken over their online presence and their you know, the Facebook and their website and that kind of thing. Because being a tech guy, I've dabbled in websites for since websites have been out there. Um, and they wanted they asked a question about we've been seeing people live streaming. Have you heard of this live streaming thing? I was like, well, yeah, I know a little bit about it. So I actually developed a system and got some software uh, hooked up with a company out of Australia that was developing streaming software for churches. Uh, Probably heard of them, vMix. I was the early adopters of vMix and got in back when it was, if you had a small church and you could show what you were doing and such, um, you could get it. You could get vMix for next to nothing for a lifetime license. And I talked to those guys, the developers, and uh, got that hooked up, and we're still using it. We've been online. Our church has been online doing our live streaming our services now for I think 8 years, something like that. And back in 2020, um, I knew you'd recognize it. It's great. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Um, a lot of good controls. I've upgraded over the years. But during 2020, um, when everything got shut down, uh, the weekly Sunday school lesson Bible study every Sunday morning at the time when we would normally live stream our service, I started doing that. I bought a green screen and everything, got set up. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things that it where it could be a whole lot better for bigger productions. Um, but I started doing that and kind of got into it, and then I started tinkering with, well, you know, year and a half or so ago, I started thinking maybe I'll try to channel my own too, and so I created this one. And down here, um, I got my laptop back here. I've got a little Logitech cam on a boom arm. I can actually set that so I can look straight down on whatever I'm working on. I've got my little Canon Axio camera over here for press angle, and I'm running, instead of running vMix here at home because of the expense. Um, I'm I'm running OBS, and I'm loving it. The one thing that I miss about vMix is uh, being able to take my tablet and connect wirelessly and put my control panel right here at my fingertips and be able to flip camera angles and that kind of stuff. Haven't I'm sure that there's some software out there. Maybe you know of something that'll work with OBS. I just got this little that's just a little Kindle reader and a stand that again 3D printed. Duh. But I can set it here. When I was trying to use vMix here, I could change camera angles and inputs and stuff from right here. But then I started having issues with my cameras I could only have a limited number of cameras, and I wanted to go to four. I wanted to add I wanted to add an action cam over on this other side so that I could actually have four different angles that I could switch around. And found out, short of spending the extra money, vMix, I found out that I could do that with OBS, and I could configure my inputs and everything. I just have to have my mouse down here next to me to run OBS. So what kind of productions do you do? If I ever learn if I ever get access to, because I used to be on TikTok. Oh yeah, it definitely works. In fact, a lot of my videos that I've uploaded in the last probably 6 months have been on using OBS, either down here or upstairs in my office where the 3D printers are. I've got OBS on the laptop up there, um, and I do some chit chat, you know, gun cleaning videos and that kind of thing. I've done a couple of gun cleaning lives up there also. Wow. I just noticed I've been on here for 2 hours. That corporate work, cool. Oh wow. Well, oh man, that is not only a fellow shooter and reloader and potential 3D printing enthusiast, potential YouTube content creator, but a fellow techno geek. Absolutely love hanging out with you, man. I really do. Oh, absolutely, absolutely small world. Well, like I said, I was doing software development and logic development and data manipulation, data collection, and that kind of stuff for a pharmaceutical company, uh, fairly well known one. Um, but did that? I was in the systems world for over 40 years. Uh, I was getting involved in systems before. Um, let's just say uh, uh, when Gates and Jobs were sitting in Gates's garage debating whether or not people would ever have computers at home, I was already doing programming. I was doing mainframe programming. Well, that is cool. I really enjoy. Like I used to be on TikTok, uh, and I was doing the YouTube stuff, but then I started getting into TikTok, and I hit a point where I had enough followers that I was able to do lives on TikTok, and that lasted for about a month, and right up until their algorithm caught me doing a gun cleaning video of a SIG P229 and talking about the 229 and its history and um, I was doing fine with it right until I started to reassemble it. 10 seconds into reassembly, bam, my live was shut off. My ability to do live went away, and when I challenged it, my TikTok access went away. Yeah. Well, I've got a TikTok channel again, or page, whatever you call it again. But I don't know if I'm going to try to live anything about guns on there. I might just do lives about 3D printing and that kind of thing, because there's a lot of people that I used to follow that I've lost track of because in that community. Um, but there's a lot of people that I follow there. There's a lot of people that I follow here. I follow a few guys here. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I've got a 320, but yeah, and a lot of that is from an analytical standpoint. Um, if you consider that there's I think 100, no, 70 some odd there's like 70 some odd documented proven cases of it going off uncommanded. Um, but out of the millions that were sold, yeah, it had problems originally. The drop safety, the SIG. Um, SIG, I think with the 320 made a huge, huge, huge mistake. Um, they they have been known for decades with awesome pistols, expensive but awesome. And for decades they were the choice of SEALs. They were the choice of federal agencies. Um, Several federal agencies that I'm very familiar with and that I used to kind of rub shoulders with. Um, but they shouldn't have um, they shouldn't have delved so deeply into the whole striker fired world. That's not their world. You know, they needed to stay in their lane. Hammer fired pistols. Uh, you know, the 2022 was their first foray into polymer lower. It was basically a 226 with a polymer lower, and I've got one. I love that thing. My first SIG. It was the first time I could afford a SIG, and straight out of the box, took it to a range, set up a pie plate at 20 yards, ate the middle out of it with two magazines. I had never shot it before. Um, I actually used that to pass my CCL. Uh, so then they came out with the 250. 250. They 250 is the daddy of the 320. 250 was hammer fired, double action only. Can't cock it. You can stage it, pull that trigger back, you get to a point, and there is a soft spot where you can stage it right before it goes off. Yeah, but they shouldn't. You're right. You're absolutely right. They should have never tried to take the 250. They saw the contract offering for the government wanted this configurable platform. They looked at the 250 and said, "Hey, we just take the hammer out, put a striker in it. Woohoo!" Bad idea. And I don't like the way that they handled it. But from the perspective of would I buy SIG? Absolutely, I'll buy SIG. I'll buy SIG if I can afford it all day long. Um, I mean, I got a pair I've got a 250. I've got a 232, a 230. Um, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. Yeah, I agree. They should have built it. They should have started from the ground up and developed it. Uh, just like they did the 250. Um, but I've got, I've got quite a few SIGs. The kind of the gamut. I don't have a 226. I would love to have one. But I've got a pair of 229s. They're both one is a government trade in and one's a police trade in. Um, the government trade in. Uh, I actually know somebody from the department that 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 one was traded in from. So the police trade-in had already been sent back to be refurbed and cleaned up and niceyed and everything. This one I caught it before it had been sent back in for that work, and so it's got the scratches and smudges and holster wear, and it's usually my daily carry. Yep. Oh yeah, $600 for a 229. Ah, that's a deal to jump on. But I've also got a 220 45 ACP. I, I the I've got a 1911 45 ACP and I like it. I've got a 9 millimeter 1911. And I like it. I don't I like carrying cocked and locked and I like the trigger and the reset and everything on 1911s. But I'll tell you what. Oh yeah. But yeah, the 220. It's the standard SIG platform. Basically, barring the 320 and the 365 and pretty much the 250, but not so much. But barring them, uh, a SIG is a SIG is a SIG. And when you get into the what is it? Their 1911 platformed pocket pistol. Uh, I can't think of the number right now, but a SIG is a SIG is a SIG. They operate the same. They've got the same decocker. They've got the same the same lack of safety. You know, long, heavy pull. Um, yeah, and you know, for takedown, they're all the same. Super simple, super easy. They're easy to take down, easy to clean. Take it apart, clean it, and then reassemble it in 5 minutes or less. Um, which my daily carry gets cleaned every night. You when I take it off, I sit there at the desk and watch a couple of YouTube videos and pull out my little cleaning box block, and takes me 5 minutes. Disassemble it, clean it thoroughly, check everything, make sure everything's functional, put it back together, put it back in the holster, and it's ready for the next day. Um, and for that one, like I said, I've got the two of them. I've also got uh, each one of them was in 40 Smith and Wesson, but I've also got a 357 SIG barrel and a 9 millimeter barrel. And so literally, in you know that kind of a situation, in theory, I could pick up one box and have uh, you know, uh, 15 mags and um, two pistols in three different calibers. Now that's for the cleaning. That's for the cleaning when you're not just doing a rough cleaning from the day. That's when you've been to the range. And you pull out all the goodies, and put on your music of choice, and go to town. You need to check out a couple of my videos that I've got posted, my gun cleaning videos. For a while I was doing one every Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. I'd throw a video out there, and oh, it is. It's cleaning my guns, reloading, developing developing the loads, you know, the, all of that, all of that detail work lets me focus, and it keeps me sharp, and it is therapeutic. It's cathartic. Uh, I fall in I fall in down here reloading, and I'll disappear for a whole afternoon or a whole evening. My wife will come tap on the basement door or holler down and say, "You all right down there?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm reloading this, reloading that." I'm surprised she hasn't hollered down here today. I've been on here for almost 2.5 hours, and got had several people stopping in, and of course then met up with you, and we've been sitting chit chatting for we've been chit chatting forever. But while we're doing that, I need to finish sealing these up. And what I've got is a lot of people that reload this style of reloading. After they put their overshot card in, they'll say use Elmer's glue. I have found that Elmer's glue will not last. Um, no, hang in, hang in. We're still talking. I just need to do this while we're talking. Um, Others will say use water glass. I tried water glass. Water glass is great, but it takes forever. It takes over 24 hours to dry. Um, I've not yet tried Gorilla Glue, but I've got some, and I'm going to try it. But what I've been using, cheaper than any of that, get it on Amazon. Sally Hansen, hard as nails, clear nail polish. This shit dries in like 3 minutes. It dries hard as a rock. It seals. Moisture is not going to get into the shell, and nice and tight, no movement, no rattle whatsoever. And that's what you want with these shells, is a total lack of movement. But you just take it and daub. And these I actually had already put a little bit on, but it looked like it kind of pulled away. And you just daub it across the top of that card and make sure that it gets all around the edges. And I've been using the Sally Hansen. I had one bottle that I used for 4 months, constant reloading 12 gauge and 20 gauge. And then I started loading the 410s, and that bottle finally ran out. So I went on Amazon, and this is like $3. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've got my one of my 229s. The they're both supposed to have the night glow, or whatever SIG calls it, the SIG glow night sights. Well, the one that was never redone, its glow isn't there. So I got some. The wife gave me a bottle of her kind of like a fluorescent orange nail polish, and I used it. I used it on my irons. Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Whole lot cheaper than a lot of other options that are out there. Ooh, UV resin. Huh. That could work. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried doing the resin printing yet. It's just, the whole curing it and all of that kind of thing. Just kind of put me off. Plus, I've been experimenting with yeah, I'm going to try that. I like it. If it works, it worked. That's it, buddy. That's everything we've been talking about this evening is that same way. It's you gotta figure out what works for you and work it up. And that's why one of the things on my I got an intro and outro that I usually tag onto my videos when I record them. This is my method. This is what works for me. And I encourage everybody to work up their own methods, test their own loads, reload at your own risk, kind of a thing. It's just one of those. It's one of those things that people get stupid, and they will say, "Well, so and so said do it this way." No, I said I do it this way. And there you go. Yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and drop these guys in here because if the weather cooperates, which it hasn't the last few days, if the weather cooperates, tomorrow's going to be range day. Huh. One more than I meant to do. Yeah, I do. Those are all the same batch. Ended up with 13 instead of 12. Then again, big box. This one's so new it's still tight. Just got done printing it earlier, so the latch isn't worn in quite as well. But there's a 25 round version. Yeah, I've got a lot of these 444 Marlin cases. I'm going to have to fix that one, though. There it is. You have to figure out a way to get that out of there. Oh, wait. There's an idea. Gotta get creative. And figure out how to pull that shaft out of there. That should do the trick. So let's take the primer catch off. Show holder in. Oh, I've already got one in there. No wonder it won't fit. I had to take it out the other one. Drop that down. See if I can get that. Let's see. It's not going to catch it. That's not going to work. Yeah, this is my manual tool for driving out. It's the shaft is hollow back to here. Everything else is what they call 100% infill, so it's solid plastic. And it's got a decapping pin out of the Lee 444 Marlin decapping and resizing die. Fits up inside. And what happened was there's a bit of a wrinkle in this case right in here. And when I drove this down and drove the primer out, this got stuck inside the case such that now I can't get it out. And I know that that case is ruined. I just don't want to too badly damage that pin. There it is. Well, drove the pin down. Ah, there it comes. All right, got it out. Hey, got it out without breaking my tool. All right. Didn't even crack it. Or did it? No, it didn't even crack it. And the idea being, this is close enough to the size. Uh-oh, my battery is about to expire. Well, I use charging cable down here for it. But, so anyway, I'm going to have to sign off because I'm down to like 14%. Anyway, Crash, it was good seeing you, man. Thanks for subbing. Don't forget to hit that bell, and it'll let you know anytime I go live or upload new content. And as I always sign off, you've been on here 2.5 hours. And as I always sign off, God bless, and see you on the other side. By the way, do you know, one quick thought, do you know why 1791 actual? actual, 1791 is a ratification of the Second Amendment. The second was put there to protect the first and all the rest. So when I decided to come up with a name for the channel, since it was going to be mostly about shooting and reloading, and there's going to be a lot of black powder stuff going on. And it just dawned on me that I am 1791 actual. All right, Crash. Have a great evening, my friend. Hope to see you again soon. Check out those other videos. Bye-bye.